We really boxing. Who wanted the baddest? Let's see.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO. This how it's finna go. I'ma throw some jabs. Make them think my punch is weaker than I hook his ass. This the ring, not the kitchen, but I'ma cook his ass. Me and him, that's the pro versus the rookie class. All my life I had to fight, but I still love it. Me and BVO got moves that you can't steal from us. And these haters be throwing shots, but I don't feel nothing. I ain't gonna lie, shit, they alright, but we a little rough for stepping for the title and facial rival. This ain't no little tussle. Bet I be no bird, being chicken to get your feathers ruffled. Footwork, I'm dancing around my opponent like the Cupid shuffle. Good work, bodies hit the flow, they can't move a muscle. The upside is we ain't in the streets shooting and shooting up. Catch me in the ring, sticking, moving and suited up. I know everybody can eat, but I ain't full enough. All you said is smoking some beef, I guess I'm pulling up. Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow.
Yo, what's up? What's up? It's your boy BVO Boxing. What's going on, Prize? How you feeling, man?
Yeah. Shout out BVO Boxing. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Smash the like. Y'all know what time it is. We in here.
Salute to my man Shadow Moses said I have Mel #1 pound for pound. I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I mean, you really can't put nobody up there. Maybe in a way, but I would say it would be between Inouye and Charlo. He said, hold on 1 second.
How is you gonna put Inouye over Terrence Crawford? Like that's just blasphemy, bro.
Bro, he would kill Terrence. You know that.
Terrence Crawford would kill that Chinese boy and make a fool young out of his ass. I promise you.
Hey, dude, come on, man. He sounds crazy, man.
Damn, man.
What the fuck you say?
Anyway, all I know is this, man. He'll beat the fried chicken out of that dude, man. Crazy. He said all the guys that Canelo should have been fought. Mel is the guy to do it. You know what's funny? I tell you this about Canelo, man. The man can't win for losing, man. My co-host on here, man, said it best, man. As soon as Canelo take the fights I want him to take, I'm gonna be a fan again. And you see, he's still hating on him. So what you think about that, man?
I mean, it's about time that he start doing what he's supposed to do. Like I said, I started off as a Canelo fan. Like I was high on Canelo. Like some of my friends that are casual boxing fans, I like, yo, you got to see this dude. It's the next one when Floyd gonna pass the torch. Mm-hmm. You know, woo, 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 woo. Then he started moving funny. When he started moving funny, I was like, all right, you know, he's #1 right now. He can do what he wants. Then he kept doing stuff and saying stuff and ducking. He didn't want to fight Triple G. A lot of people forget that. He didn't. The WBC stripped him. He emailed. That's your favorite word. He emailed Triple G the belt. And, you know, and I lost. And I was like, yo. And you know, HBO was upset. People was like, yo, really? There's no reason why he shouldn't take the fight. You know, Golovkin seemed like he was willing to be the B side, and it was all good. But you know, from that point on, I was like, yo, this dude, you know, I didn't like the moves after that. Then he went on his European bum bashing tour. He just fresh off of that, you know. So again,
what the fuck you say?
That this is a cherry pick. I don't think it's a cherry pick. I think that Jermell Charlo is one of the best fighters in the world. So I think Jermell can beat him. I think he will beat him. And man, if he does beat Canelo, dog, yo, Charlo interview is about to be crazy. So I'm looking forward to that for real. Right?
I'll tell you this, man. I think the funny thing, I think everything you said was horrible, man. Because at the end of the day, I could just keep naming Hall of Famers on Canelo Alvarez's resume. You know, he beat Sugar Shane Mosley. He beat Miguel Cotto. I mean, Jesus, the list goes on. He beat Danny Jacobs. I mean, the list just keep going on and on.
Danny Jacobs ain't no Hall of Famer.
I don't know. He's not a Hall of Famer, but he's very good. He's very good. And he fought. And think about this. And he fought the great. Floyd Mayweather Jr. So I mean, at the end of the day, man, we got to give the guys credit, man, for taking tough fights. I mean, hey, we don't. Do I like some of the moves he took? Only fight I didn't like is when he fought Durham. I don't know why he. So
you was okay. You was okay with him fighting Rocky Fielding. You was all right with that?
For the WBA Super Belt.
Man, that was a minor belt, wasn't it, man? I don't
know. It was a WBA Super Belt. It was WBA Super Belt. I
don't care what it was.
And the next fight that he fought was against Jermell for the WBC vacant belt that David left on the scale. You know, because he
spun the block quick on that one, boy.
Say it again.
He spun the block quick when David lost that belt on that scale that day. That man spun the block so fast. I'm like, yo, man, get this dude out of boxing. Get him out of here, man. I'm just sick of the bull, man. I want the bull. Go ahead. He's holding up. Well, he's not holding up the super middleweight division anymore because he's defending the belts. But I hope Jermell. I really, really hope Mel whoops this dude real good and put him in retirement. And I don't ever got to see Canelo Alvarez again because he will be forgotten.
I'll say this: if you're talking about facts and not feelings, you're talking about probably the third greatest Mexican of all time. We all know Oscar's number one. Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. might definitely be number two. And number three's got to be the great Canelo Alvarez. I think he's a 5-division champion at this point. I mean, Canelo's done everything you could ask a fighter to do. At the end of the day, I'll say this. He just has, other than the Durham fight, I can't really complain. He fought for the WBA super middleweight belt against Rocky Fielding, who was a 2-time champion, who you don't want to admit. And I think Rocky Fielding just retired. And I think Rocky Fielding will go in the Hall of Fame one day.
Based off of what?
Of being a 2-time champion.
Man, come on. Adrian Broner. Man, come on, man.
Adrian Broner's a 4-division champion. He not going to the Hall of Fame?
I mean, I would put him in there.
Oh, okay. So that's what I'm saying. So salute to my man Prize for keeping that same energy. Basically, if Canelo had waves in the beard, it would be a different thing, man.
No,
I get it.
If he had waves in the beard, I'd be grinding him up. I don't care. About
some brother talk to him.
If you're doing something crazy, then we're gonna get at you on BVO Boxing. That's what we do. We don't care what color you are. If you're doing crazy, making crazy moves, you ducking this one, then we get at you. It don't matter what color you are. Canelo could bro. Imagine if he was black. Bro, if Canelo was an African American fighter and he went on that tour that he went on, bro, could you imagine what the writers and the people in the internet and what they would be saying about him? But since that he's not a black African American, we talk about him the way we do. So there you are.
All he do is fight the best, other than Durham. But salute to my man Shadow Moses the same. I'm rocking with Mel. Win, lose, or draw. He's probably, I feel like this Mel's probably going to win. And I think people don't understand that if you look at Brian Castano is about the same size as Canelo. And if you look at how much Mel improved on the inside, I really believe he's going to bring some super damage to this guy. And I think Canelo doesn't have the same upper body movement that he once had. And I think that's going to slow him down. So it's
Mel don't get tired. Mel don't be looking tired out there. Now think about this. Mel's probably fighting at his natural weight. You know what I'm saying? At 168, that man don't have to do half the stuff. So he got a chance to actually work on his skills in that. Derek James is the trainer. Like, I mean, Mel gonna come in a dog. I'm telling y'all, man. And I see y'all channels, some of y'all channels saying, oh, it's a cherry pick, this is a cherry pick. That's cool. I ain't even mad at y'all. I think that the right Charlo was fighting Canelo. I don't think that Jermell was in the right mind to fight Canelo Alvarez right now when you got little Charlo ready to go, you know, even though he's been out the ring for years. And that's why people getting at him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, didn't he have hand surgery or wrist surgery or something recently?
Yeah, he broke his hand.
So I have broke my hand. I know what that's like. So, you know, he coming off a little layoff, but the way what was the dude that Canelo fought? Damn, man, what's his name? The last guy he just fought. Man, what's the guy Canelo just fought? John Ryder. John Ryder. John Ryder was putting hands on Canelo, bro. He was landing some good shots. Now if Mel hit him like that, Canelo gonna be in trouble, man.
It's a fight. It's a fight.
But Canelo like to lay on the ropes and try to you know set a trap for you to come in there. And he lay on the ropes against Charlo. Charlo got that nice jab to the solar plex. Man, it's gonna be ugly for Canelo. I hope Jermell Charlo. I am on a record right now saying I hope Jermell Charlo destroys Canelo Alvarez and get him out of boxing. Please.
And I'll say this, man. He salute to my man. Said I think Jermell will be happy just to be in the ring with Canelo, and I agree with that. But I'll tell you this is the thing you got to keep in mind. If Canelo wins and destroys him, I'm going to put Canelo back number one pound for pound. Maybe it depends on me because it's hard not to have Inoue number one, man. It's hard.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's very easy not to have him. He hasn't done nothing. Right? Like you had a man. I forget that kid name that used to come on our show. The kid from the UK talking about he beat this one and that. Paul Butler beat this one and he beat. Like, man, are you serious, dog? Like, get out of here with that. That man is not better than Terrence Crawford. He's not better than Jermell Charlo. He's not better. I can go on and on and on. He's not better than Fulton. He's not better than Boots Ennis. He's not better than Earl Spence.
So when he stops Fulton, then what? When he stops Scooter, then what?
Then I was wrong about him.
So this is the thing. You're saying it because are you saying it because he fights in Japan, or you're just not giving him his proper credit?
I'm not giving him no credit. No. It depends. Like his skill-wise, skills are there. I can't even do that. I'm not going to do that. His skills are there. But the level of competition that this man has fought, and y'all want to throw him, that's what's wrong with America. They can't wait to get a foreigner that looks a certain way to just catapult him to number one. They did that with Triple G. They overrated him. They overrated Kovalev. It's a couple fighters.
Hold on.
No, I ain't done yet. I'm not done. They overrated Chocolate Tito. He got his ass whooped. I mean, they just cannot wait to have anybody but an American fighter running the show again. They'll do anything they can to persuade the casual fans that this man is greater than Terrence Bud Crawford. Just that name alone it's crazy to say that if Inoue was 147 or Terrence was 122 or whatever he is, that he would destroy Bud Crawford. Man, you can't be serious.
He would destroy Errol Spence too.
That Chinaman ain't never seen nobody from Philadelphia, and I'm around the area. I done built half of Philadelphia, and I'm on a record of saying, ain't no gym nowhere near like some of them Philly gyms. And we from Japan. Trust and believe me. He probably can't even make it out of the Philadelphia gyms, dog.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a serious question? Can I ask you a question, man?
Come on.
So you said you couldn't make out the Philadelphia gym. Is it true or not there's the same amount of undisputed champions from Philly as it is from the whole country of Japan? Is that not true?
Nah, I mean, yeah, if you want to do it that way.
I'm asking the question. Yes or no? It's yes. See, I asked you yes or no question. You asked me yes or no question. I said yes. So what are we talking about here? You talking about a guy who
I'm talking about dogs in the Philly gyms, Baltimore, some of these cities, New York. That he's not going to make it out of the gym.
Can I ask you a question?
He's got a good opportunity. He got an opportunity, and he ran with it.
What Philly fighter haven't we seen get beat to death? We seen Joe Frazier get beat to death. I've seen Bernard, the executioner, Hopkins get beat to death. I just don't know what we're talking about here. Are we talking about greatness? Or are we talking about what we feel? If we talking about what we feel,
greatness, I'm talking about skills. I'm talking about the whole nine. He's not greater than Terrence Crawford. He's not more skilled than Terrence Crawford. Nothing about him can even sniff Terrence Crawford. So
who is Terrence beat that's better than Donaire?
Man, what?
That's the question. Who is Terrence Crawford beat that's better than Donaire? Seriously.
Man,
No,
Sean Porter. Sean
Porter. Oh my God. It's better than Donaire?
Absolutely.
Donaire is walking right to the Hall of Fame, man. It's not even a question. He's walking right into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, shout out Nonito and shout out his wife. I rocks with them.
I'll say this, man. If we talking about boxing, man, it's the same case that you're doing with Canelo. There's nothing he could do to satisfy you to be the best boxer. I mean, I bet you probably don't think Ali's the best. I'm sure you probably don't think Sugar Ray Robinson's the best.
What,
I mean, as far as boxers, because they lost before.
Yeah, they're great.
It doesn't matter to
all
lose.
Time. We're talking about GOATs right now. It's more than one GOAT, man. That's what y'all got to understand. It's more than one GOAT.
And it's the thing.
Is a GOAT. Ali's a GOAT. Floyd's a GOAT. Hagler's a GOAT. Sugar Ray Leonard's a GOAT. We go on and on about GOATs. That ain't nothing.
But what I'm saying is, at some point, you got to crown anyway as who he is, and that's probably one of the best.
If he beats Scooter, then he'll have 100% full credit, and he probably would
be number one, right?
No, he ain't gonna be number one, but he'll move up. He'll move up on a pound for pound list. I do have him on there. Maybe I'll come up on a show and I'll make a pound for pound list one day. Let's wait till after this Earl and Bud happen, and then your boy Prize Fighter, I'll come on here and I'll do a pound for pound list because I'm always talking about pound for pound list, but I never physically sat down and made one. I got an idea who's going to be on my list. You know, people not going to like it, but it is what it is.
If you don't have Inoue on it, man, your list is trash. I tell you
I never said I didn't have Inoue on it.
He said the Japanese guy will be crushed by the top 35. I'm gonna tell you something about the top 35. That's the most capped out division I've ever seen, and I'm gonna tell you why. I ain't want to get into this, but we gotta talk about your boy Devin Haney, man. We gotta talk about Devin Haney. Devin Haney is just a prime example, and I'm gonna just say it seriously, man. Bill Haney is a pimp. Bill Haney is a pimp.
Man, don't sit up here and do that. Don't do that. How?
No, I'm just telling you, he's a pimp.
I haven't seen one hoe around him yet. So.
Devin Haney is his main chick, and I'm gonna tell you this. This is the thing you're missing about Bill and Devin Haney. They've pimped the whole boxing game. If you watch them, they've been pretenders from day one. Devin Haney, who said there won't be another champion at 135, all of a sudden now wants to fight Regis Prograis after his worst performance as a pro. So I don't know what we're talking about here.
Is that Devin's fault that Regis looked like garbage in his last fight?
But why wouldn't he fight Shakur?
Because the reason why I think the kid doesn't want to fight Shakur is not that he doesn't scared. That's not it. I think Devin is. I don't think he's at his best, and I think Shakur will smash him at 135 because Shakur ain't gonna get tired. Devin clearly a little winded. He faded a little bit, but he held on because he landed some good body shots against Lomachenko. But as far as fighting Shakur 135, it's just suicide for Devin Haney. So I don't even know why y'all sitting up here running around there worrying about Bill said this, Devin said that. I don't care. They supposed
because
to say,
he's a pimp.
Hold on.
A pimp.
They're supposed to say stuff. They are supposed to say stuff because it's boxing. You got to keep your name. You got to keep that buzz in your name. So you might jump out the window and say something crazy. So Devin said all these fighters say dumb stuff. You can pull up a video of one of your favorite fighters, but everybody listening, BVO and whoever. You can pull them up saying one thing and doing something else. Every fighter.
What the fuck you say?
I'll sit up here and say nothing bad about Devin Haney. Devin Haney did his thing from the mud. People say, "Oh, he beat one fight that you undisputed." Okay, undisputed. Well, okay, that's the same Terrence Crawford is doing. He beat one. He undisputed. So I don't want to hear about. Devin Haney did what he's supposed to do. He still hasn't lost. So we sitting up here talking like Devin Haney lost 4 or 5 fights already. The man is not. He's
about to lose.
He's never even been down. Has he been knocked down yet?
He's about to go to bed. Look, he's about to go to bed against Lomachenko.
What they say last?
I can't hear you. Keep that up.
Oh, let me go back in there because I was about to drown myself in this pool.
Hey, but while my man Prize get settled, I'll say this. At the end of the day, man, if we talking about great fighters, man, Devin Haney's not one of them. Sugar Shakur has the WBO and WC mandatory belts, right? He has the mandatory spot in both areas. At the end of the day, man, if Devin doesn't defend those belts, he's going to have to give up half his belts. So if he was who he said he was, but what was Bill saying? The brick hand, all this stuff that Tank used to say, Tank's trainers and them say, man, Devin Haney's a fraud, man. And I just got to be honest, man, Bill Haney is an absolute pimp. And I don't understand why he's trying to pimp his son to be something that he's not. At the end of the day, man, greatness is proved inside the square circle. When Yoel Judah had Super Judah, we didn't hear Yoel talking. When Floyd Sr. had Floyd Jr., we didn't hear him talking. All we seen was the results in the ring. And I'm telling you, for him to run I'm not gonna say scared. I'm gonna say for him to be afraid Sugar Shakur, I think it's just a travesty because at the end of the day, man, you got to fight the best to show that you're the best. And if you're not going to do that, I mean, what are we talking about at this point? And that's what we keep getting here. We keep getting people want to make excuses for fighters. At the end of the day, they got to get in the ring and fight. Say what you want. Everybody wants to bring up how BVO picked Ryan Garcia. And I'll tell you this, Ryan Garcia is a true champion, has the heart of a lion. Because he went into a fight that he necessarily wasn't favored in and was fearless in the fact and made that fight happen. So we got to talk about what's real. And what's real here is that if you want to be the best, the opportunity's out there. I seen Tank go from being Devin Haney's sparring partner to being the biggest dude in the world. Stuff like this happens, man, if you want to go out there and make it happen. But I don't want to get on Devin Haney and his pimp, Bill Haney. I mean, I just don't want to get on it because at the end of the day, these guys got exposed for what they really are. They just talking. Think about this. When Sugar Shakur was talking all that stuff in the ring, telling Devin Haney, I want to fight, he could have easily, they want to say, they got a great working relationship with Bob Arum. The fight could have got done. But the thing is, Devin Haney doesn't have what he needs in between his shoulder blades, his heart. He don't have a heart to step in there with a young, hungry lion like Sugar Shakur. And then on top of that, we got to deal with this pimp, aka Bill Haney, who's really nothing but a con artist, man. You know, look at his.
What is Eddie Reynoso?
What do you mean, Eddie Reynoso, two-time trainer of the year, current trainer of undisputed champion?
Eddie, let's talk about Eddie Reynoso and the Juice Crew instead of putting down a brother who's in his son's life, who's guided his son to greatness. But we don't want to credit them fathers. Let's go to the creepy fathers that like to make their kids uncomfortable. But we will praise him though. But yeah.
And I'll tell you like this: if this is funny, isn't it funny how Bill Haney talks about Devin Haney as if he's like Teofimo Lopez? A guy who's been through the gauntlet, a guy who's fought nothing but the best. That's exactly how Bill Haney promotes and treats Devin. Devin is not Teofimo Lopez, guys. I don't want you guys to get confused of who's really out there trying to make the best fights. At the end of the day, if Devin Haney had any nuts, I would give him credit. If he's a WBO champion, so he easily can be the mandatory. But Teofimo already said it was either going to be I think it was Arnold Barbosa, or it's going to be Devin Haney for the WBO strap. He said, I'm not retired. I'm coming back to boxing. Why wouldn't you fight another former undisputed champion in Teofimo Lopez and not a guy who came off his worst loss and has really done nothing other than get beat up by Josh Taylor? That's his biggest claim to fame.
Because didn't the WBC just say Devin has to the 21st to either pick Regis or Shakur? Ain't that what they said? Or I'm missing? I'm mistaken.
He's a WBO champion. I know the WBC does that too, but I'm saying the WBO says you can fight. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. No, I know. Go ahead.
I'm saying the WBO says that hey, if you're on super champion in a lower weight class, when you move up, you become the number one mandatory challenger for that belt. And if Devin Haney had any heart, any mind, he would go in there and fight the former undisputed two-time lineal champion Teofimo Lopez, but he doesn't have that kind of heart. He's not built like that. That's what I'm saying. You guys are thinking just because of how he seems that he's built a certain way. He's not, man. He's afraid of Shakur. He's afraid of Teofimo Lopez. And it's midnight. At the end of the day, as he goes to 140, the 135 division is going to be the cream of his career because he's not the special. He does not have the power. He does not have what it takes to be a great fighter.
I think beat some of the top 140-pound opinion, and I'm sticking with it.
I'm just wondering. I'm wondering would Rolly stop him? That's the question. He
can beat T.O. He would destroy Rolly.
Are you sure about that?
He would box circles around Rolly. Man, he would kill Rolly. Man, don't even talk about Rolly on this show.
Rolly,
the same man that was getting whooped by my granddad. I was whooping on him the other day.
He got whooped up. He got whooped up.
The man that got dropped by somebody great grandpa. Get out of here. Devin Haney would destroy this kid. He got knocked out by some kid in sparring. You know, like this dude. I don't want to talk about Rolando.
Well, let me ask you this. So we're talking about this, but see, when I bring up T.O., he gets quiet. He gets quiet because he knows.
I just said Devin can beat T.O. I just said Devin can beat him.
And what, arm wrestling? I'm talking about boxing. I'm not talking about arm wrestling. I'm talking about
Devin
boxing.
Can beat him. Devin can beat him.
On what planet can Devin beat him?
Devin can beat him. If Kambosos can beat him, Devin can beat him.
Okay, Kambosos beat him when he was sick.
He almost
died.
I don't care.
That's the thing.
Go to the hospital then.
He did go. He did go.
Okay.
Just stop the cap, man. I'm gonna just say
that's the same guy that think that he won the fight 12-1. That's what he said. 11-2 or something. He said he was delusional, bro.
He won it 10-2 and got robbed.
He won what 10-2?
He dropped him in the second round. He dropped George Kambosos the second round.
Yeah, and he got dropped himself. So
man, he had a throat issue and was sick. And this is the thing I'm saying, man. This is the thing I'm saying. You don't want to give people no credit. But going into this big fight, this is the fights that we got to be talking about. Man, what you think about the whole Chance Crawford-Errol Spence fight? We're only 2 weeks away. What you think?
Yeah, really excited. Still haven't I still haven't decided where I'm gonna watch the fight, but I know who I'm gonna watch the fight with, and shout out to them. You know, it's a newcomer. So yeah. But that fight there, bro, I'm ready. I'm ready. You remember I was just was it a month ago? Maybe 2 months ago? I said, I don't even want to talk about the fight. I don't want to talk about it. I'm not doing it. Well, I done watched I watched the what is it, 24/7 or whatever it's called?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm ready to go, man. I can't wait for this fight, bro. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr., undisputed welterweight championship of the world, live in Vegas, dog. Man, you don't get no more lit than this, bro.
It's gonna be a huge fight. I'm telling you this. The main thing with this fight is this, man. I'm just wondering, in what round is Bud gonna go to sleep? Because I just know for a fact the marvelous Errol Spence is gonna bring some type of pressure that he's never seen. It's gonna be tough for him to really get in there and win, man. And I tell you this, man. I think it's so funny in boxing how nobody wants to give, Errol his credit, because Errol has been at that same division since 2015. I mean,
yeah, it's been
quite a bit of time, man. And I think it's funny because I've only seen Errol kind of. I say it like this: I really think Errol's gonna regret not going to physical therapy long term, because I can say his athleticism has waned. He wasn't ultra athletic, but the way he could get in and out on punches, it's not the same. So
I think that's more so father time than anything. I don't think that's he car crash did. I still think that he's just getting older and he can't. Like look at Floyd. Even when Floyd does his exhibitions, somebody can get him now, but he's so defensively responsible. It's gonna still be hard to do. But if he was up in there with one of the young bulls, they probably could clip Floyd right now because he can't get out of trouble like he used to. So. And neither can Terrence. So Terrence ain't, he ain't the fastest, slick as he used to be. In the Victor Postal fight or the Gamboa fight, he wasn't. He's not.
He was explosive. And you know what? I want to say that Victor Postal should get out of boxing. The way I seen him get beat to death this last card, man. And
who
Frank Martin.
I
don't know who that guy was.
That guy
some prospect really just went in there and took his belt off and just beat him until he got tired, man. I mean, it was just
breaks off of him. It was ugly.
And to see a great fighter like that, because I'll tell you this, man. People say Gamboa, But the best fighter that I've seen Terence Crawford fight was against Victor Postol. Victor Postol, the Ukrainian crusher, man, this brother was something serious at 130, man. He was something serious at 135. I mean,
he was all right.
Looking at him now, I mean, you can't say much now because Father Time is beating him up pretty good. But I'll just say this. We got to give that brother Terence Crawford a lot of credit for taking this fight and not having the rehydration clause because, I mean, I hate to say this, pause before anybody try to get me in the comments. That dude, Errol, is too big. Errol's too big, man. I don't even know how in the world that fight is being made without a rehydration clause. I know the IBF has the 10-pound weight rehydration limit the day of the fight. But just to see how your boy Terence Crawford didn't ask for a rehydration clause, I give him a lot of credit for that. What you think about that, man?
Yeah, I don't think that Terence cares about nothing like that. I think Terence is focused on just the fight alone. I don't think he's worried about how big Earl is. He might want him to come in a little big and slow. You know what I mean? So we don't know. But Terence is a super athlete. You know, I know that Earl was saying, you know, he had some crazy stipulations that during negotiations, you know, and I could see that happening. But I still think Terence Crawford gonna come in there sharp as a knife, bro. I'm telling you. And it's one of them is gonna get beat. One of them is about to take an L in 2 weeks.
And it's the funny thing is, what you think about Terence Crawford saying he won't take a rematch?
I mean, that probably rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. I saw that. Some people was like, "Oh, he's already making excuses for he's gonna lose." I'm like, "Yo, just chill, bro. You don't." Like I say, fighters say things, and then they go spin the block and do something else. It ain't this the same dude, Terence Crawford, that said, "I don't need this fight. I ain't even think about that fight. That fight's dead," or something he said. Everybody's like, "Wow."
Yeah, he been saying that.
Okay, now what's happening? Undisputed fights happening, right? So again, like, you know, if Bud goes and dominates Earl, I can see Earl wanting a rematch, you know, because Earl is about that smoke, and I think that Earl gonna want to get his get back. But
I think Earl was a different kind of fighter. I've never heard anybody ever want to rematch Earl. Danny Garcia could have rematched Earl. Danny Garcia took a 6-7 month break and then, you know, retired. I mean, no, he went up to 154. So he didn't want to fight him. And to tell you the truth, once Mikey Garcia received that savage beating, I mean, he beat the life out of Mikey Garcia. And Mikey Garcia didn't look the same. Lamont Peterson never looked the same. And think about it. Lamont Peterson fought Errol Spence because Errol Spence was a champion and nobody wanted to touch him.
Nobody wanted to fight him. Yeah,
nobody wanted to fight him.
You said nobody wants to rematch Earl because he's been so dominant in his wins. Nobody wants to. What's a rematch? What are we rematching for? You got mocked, dog. Like, I don't need to see no rematch. I don't need to see a Ugas rematch. I don't need to see a Sean Porter rematch. I just think that Earl should have been in better shape. And so he had to sit there and make that fight the way it was against Sean Porter because I think that he was partying and doing what he was doing. And, you know, Sean Porter was training his whole life for that. You know what I mean? His whole career was based around that one fight. So, Sean, the reason nobody wants to rematch Earl because he beats the brakes off you so bad. Nobody wants to go to the hospital again. So, but Bud to say that, I think Bud just trying to ruffle some feathers. I don't, you know, if Bud wins, I can see him absolutely say, I ain't fighting him again. I don't care what that contract say. I can't make 47 no more. See me at 54. So he can do whatever he wants. And Terence Crawford going to be the #1 fighter in the world if he wins. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, Chris Algieri said something I never thought about. He said Errol Spence might be one of the biggest welterweights of all time. And I think that might be true. Chris Algieri knows his boxing. I'm just wondering, in a fight like this, I really believe, you know, that Errol might take a pound of flesh out of Terence Crawford. Because let's be honest here, nobody he's fought has looked the same. Only person that looked better after they got that beaten was Kell Brook. I mean, Kell Brook, you know, when he fought Terence Crawford, was on a 3-fight win streak and looked better and said he felt better than he ever did. So at the end of the day, the only fight that you can put in question for Errol Spence is that Kell Brook fight because Kell Brook was injured. And Errol made him take the fight within like 9 months. and he had to go from 160 all the way back down to 147.
That's his problem.
But see,
he could have just dropped the belt. He could have dropped the belt and say, "Hey, I'm a middleweight now, or I'm fighting at 54."
Ain't you the same guy that told me that you rather lose in the ring than give your belt up?
Yeah, 100%.
So you giving him flack for fighting for his belt in the ring? And if you
that's why I said don't make no excuses. Then don't make. He got whooped. He had all the weight advantage. He had the weight advantage. Kell Brook was way more seasoned fighter than Earl at the time. And what Earl went over there and did and broke him down, bro, in England, in Sheffield, England, was just, man, that was some dope boxing, right? That was a dope boxing moment right there for your boy. You know, I was screaming at the TV, come on, because I knew this wasn't gonna be easy for her. I was like, yo, Kell Brook is big. Man, I'm trying to tell y'all. My man, like, no, he gonna destroy him in 4 or 5 rounds. I'm like, yeah, all right, you don't watch boxing like I do. He ain't finna destroy Kell Brook in no 4 rounds. They ain't happening. And you saw what happened. Kell Brook hit him. He was tagging him with the jab, tying him up, frustrating Earl. And Earl had to bite down on that mouthpiece and do what he had to do, and he did it. So
what do you think about? So what do you think about Errol Spence making a big deal about getting a new mouthpiece? Does that clean up that whole thing if he just spin the mouthpiece out?
Yeah, I think because I think Earl watches the internet heavily. I think Earl watches. I think he's heavily involved with YouTube boxing. I think because he remembers things. He said it in an interview. What was it on Showtime? I think he screenshot stuff. He remembered what this one said about him. He remembered what that one says about him. So apparently the man watches YouTube boxing. Okay, so and Earl, man, I think that since people was getting on him about that mouthpiece thing, he feel like he would address it nationally. You know what I mean, on Showtime. So he can say, listen, because people want to know, why you keep losing your mouthpiece? Like 3 fights in a row. You lost your mouthpiece to Danny Garcia. You lost your mouthpiece against who else he lose against? Ugas, and it was somebody else, wasn't it? Who was the third
Ugas
person?
And Danny Garcia.
That's it. I wasn't a third person.
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fine.
That's when he got the new teeth.
Okay. So people was just like the people that hate Earl Spence, they just nitpick anything to find about him. So they did that. Earl probably say this is what it is. I had mouth surgery, whatever. I'm addressing it. It's done. Let's stop talking about it. Don't worry about it. I think that's what that was about.
Well, the one thing that kind of got me a little bit was the fear in Errol Spence's eyes when the Pivot podcast brought up him fighting Canelo, and he was quick to say, "Oh no, I'm not focused on Canelo. No, I'm not. I'm
That's
not
the right
focused
thing
on that fight."
How can he be?
You're talking about that would be probably the biggest fight in boxing.
Yeah, but hold on. We can't just jump and say, "Oh, well, I hate when they do that." Don't ask him nothing about no Canelo Alvarez until Canelo Alvarez beats Jermell Charlo, 1, and 2, he beats Terrence Crawford. We might not never see that fight. So I don't even know why they asking that. I don't care. I don't even want to talk about that fight because right now, both of these dudes, Earl and Canelo, got uphill battles. So until them fights are done, I don't want to talk about that.
And I ask you this. This the funny thing is, now you've been on record to say that you think that Canelo would destroy David Benavidez. You say he would beat him really badly.
I said I think he can beat him.
Destroy. I thought you said destroy.
No, I said I think Canelo can beat him.
But okay, so you say you can beat him.
I think.
But it's a funny thing. So if he stops Jermell, stop David Benavidez, and stops Errol, I think you really got to put him up there as maybe the best fighter of the last 15 years easily. What you think?
Yeah, I mean, he'll never be greater than Mayweather, but he definitely would be right there behind Mayweather. But it'll be hard to argue, But I know people are gonna say, "Oh, it's clenbuterol and the weight." I wish the homie Greenlight was up here. If y'all don't follow Greenlight channel, go follow Greenlight channel. He had a list. I don't know where he got it from. I really don't care where he got it from. I seen it on Greenlight channel. Greenlight had a list of all other rehydration clauses behind the scenes that Canelo was doing. So when that information gets put out there, that takes away from like, man, why did he weight drain Amir Khan? Like, why did he put weight stipulations in with Amir Khan? So that's crazy right there. So, the kid is the king of rehydration clause. So he'll never be greater than
Floyd. So is your boy Tank. He had
we
one
don't know
against,
that. We don't know that. We know one fight of that.
No, he did it against Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios confirmed that before that fight. He said, I had a rehydration clause too. So, and it's the thing. He don't want to
is that Mayweather Promotions making those stipulations, or that's Tank himself saying, this is what I want, that's what I'm doing?
No, Tank said he's his own boss. Which one is it?
I mean, he says that, but at the end of the day, I think that Mayweather Promotions and Steven Espinoza and Al Heyman are the ones drawing up these contracts, not Gervonta.
And I'll say this. So Gervonta's home. I want to send definitely a big shout out to Gervonta Davis doing this thing, finally being home. I'll say this about Gervonta. I'm just hoping that Gervonta understands how serious it is to take his boxing career serious, because we're not going to speak about what he did, but he did some really foul stuff, man. And for him to only spend that little bit amount of time in jail, he should be thanking his lucky stars, man, because me and you both know that was a serious situation. And I'll just say this. I hope that he doesn't do what the great Aaron Pryor did and blow away his career with outside the ring things. I mean, what you think about that?
I don't think that he's going to – I think, he's still in his 20s, bruh, so it's time for him to tighten up. But I ain't worried about Gervonta on the outside of the ring. The last thing, that was pending, So I don't think we'll see Gervonta getting in too much more trouble right now. He looks like he's super focused on boxing. He just made a bag of money with Ryan Garcia. So I don't think that
$45 million.
I mean, I ain't see that report nowhere. I'm not gonna argue no numbers, but the kid got the bag. I'm pretty sure he wants to keep it, and he doesn't want to miss no time out the ring. So I would like to see Gervonta. What's this month? July, pretty much August.
Yeah.
I like to see Gervonta fight one more time this year, whether it's in December, November, December, I guess. So put him in there.
I'll say this just to add to what you're saying. I want Tank to stop playing. Tank has the most overrated resume in boxing. If you look at what he's done as far as opponents, it's a travesty, man. For a guy who has access to everybody, he hasn't fought any of the top guys. He hasn't fought Shakur. He hasn't fought Devin Haney. I know Devin Haney is never going to take that fight. Let's just be honest here. So I won't say Devin Haney, but Frank Martin. It's a bunch of young hungry lions. And I got to say this, man. In order for Tank to be who they say he is, he got to see Tio. It's just a fact. He's got to see Tio. If he wants to be the best, he got to see Tio. Because let's be honest, Tank Davis totally ducked Vasily Lomachenko. Why don't we ever bring the fact up that he ran for Vasily Lomachenko? He ran from the man. The man said, I'll give you whatever you want. I'll just want to fight. And at the end of the day, he even was willing to take, I think he said something like a 20% cut of the money and give Tank 80-20. And Tank said no. And at the end of the day,
I ain't never hear that one.
I'm gonna hold it against Tank, because it's just like we got to hold it against his mentor. At the end of the day, the fight with Winky Wright should have happened. The fight with Teofimo Lopez should have happened. And I'm telling you, man, I think it's a travesty that you won't hold him to that light, because all the fighters that you name do nothing but fight the best. My favorite fighter of all time, other than Floyd, is Oscar De La Hoya. Do you know what Oscar De La Hoya was doing when he got knocked out by Bernard Hopkins? Oscar De La Hoya is in the process of being the first undisputed four-belt champion versus Bernard Executioner Hopkins. That's what he lost at, fighting for undisputed. So let's not even play these games that we don't know what greatness looks like. Oscar De La Hoya's greatness, Floyd Mayweather's greatness. And I'm telling you, at the end of the day, as I'm looking at this at more and more, Tank's got to fight somebody. He's got to fight somebody that we know. He got to stop fighting the same old flat-footed Mexicans that he's beating to death. And I'm going to give him credit for it, but
Tank's IQ Tank got the skills to pay the bills, brother. And I don't think that he had anything to do with a lot of them opponents. I think Tank just wants to focus on fighting now. Since he took control of his career, now I think he might got a little more say-so in it. But back then when Floyd was in control, the green print that Mayweather does. I don't understand why these people don't get it, that Floyd was having a kid follow the green print, and that's what it is. But now that he's taking control over his career, you know, you see what he did in his first outing. You know what I mean? He did numbers. So we gotta wait to see who Gervonta fights next. We can't just say, oh, he ain't did this, he ain't did that. Because if that's the case, anyway, he ain't did shit. Are we past an hour yet?
Not yet. But this is the thing. You saying he didn't do nothing but become undisputed champion, right?
Okay, Devin's undisputed, but all you do every show is grind Devin up.
No, I don't.
Oh yeah, I was green light was up here and undercard.
I give you credit.
Undercard, green light, big blunts. Where is y'all at right now?
Hey,
up? And you hear this man talking crazy?
All I gotta say is this, man. All I gotta say is this: when you talking about the greatness in fighters, man, I want somebody to show me what makes Tank great. I beg you, show me what Tank has done that's great. I beg you, man. Please show me what Tank Davis has done that's great. You can't, because it's a lie. It's a fabricated story. It's just like us kids who grew up liking Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is not a nice guy. Tank Davis is not a Hall of Fame fighter. He's been fighting with a Mickey Mouse belt or a French fries belt, and no one wants to talk about it. Why is that? If Canelo did that, it would be the end of the world. Man.
Canelo did that already, so
he never fought. He never fought for a French fries belt.
Yeah, he
never.
Did. Never. I know. He never fought for them. He just creates them.
Okay.
He makes them up. I was born ready.
So let me ask you this: why is Tank Davis who people consider pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world? Why is he running? Why?
The reason why. Go ahead. Finish the question. No,
I said pound for pound. He's pound for pound. Why is he running from greatness? If he wanted the George Kambosos fight, he could have got it. If he wanted to fight Devin Haney, he could have got it.
He is one of the best because he has the power, he has the skills, he has the IQ. He's missing a couple of accolades, which he can clean that up easily. Other than that, he's been up and down in weight. He's beat some solid fighters on his come up. You know, he's beat some solid, tough dudes. So he's definitely, I ain't saying the kid's even in the top 5, but out of 10 fighters in the world, Gervonta Davis is definitely on that list. How can you not put him on there? Name me 9 fighters better than him right now. You can't do it.
That's better than Tank?
Right now. That's active. Right now.
In a way, Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, Jerron Boots Ennis, Jermell Charlo,
that's 5,
Shakur
right?
Stevenson. Yep. Shakur Stevenson. Definitely Usyk. Definitely Deontay Wilder, I would say.
Well, hold on.
We just keep, if you said name fighters, you didn't say
pound for pound list.
Pound for pound list. Okay, if we talking about pound for pound list,
that's what we said. Name 10 fighters that's better than him on the pound for pound list.
Jamel's better. Jamel's better.
All right, Mel.
Jamel's better. So is
Mel.
in a way. Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, Jerron Ennis, Stephen Fulton. I would have to say Figueroa, who just beat Max Marcel.
Get out.
Oh my God.
That's the chain. That's why I need a chain button. I need a chain button. You got to snap the chain for that.
How you gonna
you just sat up there and said that Figueroa is better than Gervonta Tank Davis. Do y'all hear this? What mark are we at? How do we tell? 48-53 in the show. Did this man just sat up here and said Figueroa?
Who would you pick to win at 135? At 130, let's say
I say Tank knocks him out at 130. Knocks him out. What?
He's too big. He might be too big.
Gervonta hit hard, man. Gervonta hits hard. Gervonta cracks, bro.
So
Wilder got that special power. Gervonta got that special power, and his IQ is just off the chart. Forget the power. The man IQ is just off the chain, bro.
He keep fighting guys that work at Chuck E. Cheese, man, and you keep trying to tell me that doesn't mean
the same guy that beat the breaks off of what was the kid name?
Ryan Garcia.
Not Ryan Garcia. Who he beat up before that? Hector Garcia. Didn't he whoop on
Hector
somebody?
Garcia.
Didn't he whoop on the
who beat Chris Colbert? He beat Chris Colbert.
Okay, so that kid, Chris Colbert, was supposed to be promising. So when Hector won that fight, he hit the lottery by that. Maybe if Colbert would have won the fight, it would have been Gervonta and Colbert. We don't know.
Can I ask you a question? Tank has been professional for quite a while. He hasn't fought one black fighter. What does that mean to you?
I mean, that's crazy. Again, that's Mayweather and the green following the green.
So you blaming Mayweather when Mayweather fought nothing but the toughest black guys.
He fought. All right, well, and then when Mayweather realized the money scheme, it was a minute before he fought another black fighter. It was a hot minute.
He fought them all
in the beginning.
He fought Chop Chop.
Yes, he
did.
Did
he not fight Chop Chop? He fought Chop Chop.
He fought Philip Indu. He
fought Indu.
Chico. I mean, to me, he brown, so he fought Chico. I mean, he fought Manuel Augustus.
So,
yeah, I said Chico. He fought Manuel Augustus. He fought Zab. You know, so
only person that Floyd didn't fight, and I always forget about him, is Paul Williams. He missed Paul Williams and he missed Winky Wright. But I'm not going to give him a hard time.
What is your obsession with Floyd and Winky Wright? What is that?
The fight should
Nobody talks about that.
The fight should have happened.
I've never seen one statement. I've never seen an article. I've never seen nothing.
But everybody wanted that fight.
Who is everybody? I've never heard anybody.
You didn't want that fight at 154? No. I knew that. You know why not?
Because Winky had Jermaine Taylor problems. Winky had other kind of junior middleweight problems. You know, he had Bernard Hopkins problems. I don't need to see him in there with Floyd. He's too big. Floyd too little for 154, man. Come on, man.
We know that.
Okay.
But think about this. He fought Miguel Cotto at 154. He fought
end of his career.
De La Hoya at 154. And he fought Canelo Alvarez at 154. Because Canelo had two belts, a WBA and a WBC belt.
At 151. But yeah, or 152 or whatever it was.
No. This is the thing you missing. Missing. But why couldn't Winky get a piece of that? Why not?
Because nobody knows who Winky is. But
my God. Oh my God.
One of my favorite five met Winky. Shout out to Winky.
Did you say the Hall of Fame? The Hall of Fame fighter, Winky Wright? Nobody knew who he was?
Not no casuals. My man didn't even know who he was until I put him on. Because he only had on the SP. He had on the SP chain. He's like, yo, he rocking some Philly stuff.
State property?
Yeah, he rocking some state props. So my man, like, who
he was with Jordan. Like, you remember that, right?
He
was with Jordan.
Okay, and nobody knew who he was.
Nobody knew who Jordan was?
Nobody knew who Ronald Wright was. Nobody knows his name. Like, get out of here. Like, I know who he is. I'm a fan of Winky Wright. You know who he is. You're a fan of Winky Wright. You know he can probably be the best. We know he got robbed in the Jermaine fight, in my opinion. But we already know. But
that was a travesty. You need a ski mask to do that kind of stuff. Am I wrong?
But he can't be in that ring with Floyd. Nobody was calling for that.
And I think if he would have been able to stop Floyd, it would have brought him over to that level.
Yeah.
Because who put Floyd on the map? Who put Floyd on the map?
Nobody.
Oscar
ain't put who on the mat? Knock Floyd down?
Oscar. No, I'm talking about put him on the national scene. How did everybody hear about Floyd? Oscar De La Hoya.
Well, that definitely helped out, but that's not how I heard of him because I was following them in the Olympics when I was a young boy, and he got robbed out of a gold medal. That's how I know about Floyd Mayweather, not because of Oscar De La Hoya. I was watching a kid when I was a young boy, watching this kid in the Olympics. I always watch Olympic boxing. I haven't missed any of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I learned this. I'm like, this kid, Floyd Mayweather, this Junior is nice. And then my grandpa said, well,
I don't know. I think my man undercard cut out. I mean, my man Prize cut out. But I'll say this, man. We got a lot of big fights coming on. We're not going to stay too late. It's your boy, BVO Boxing. It's your boy, Prize Fighter. We just came in, do a little quick cook on what's going on in boxing, man, because it's so much that's going on. And I tell you what, man, it's just exciting. It's exciting. I can't think of a more exciting time it's been in boxing in such a long time. You know, you got Errol Spence about to fight Terrence Crawford. You got Anyway getting ready to fight Scooter, a.k.a. Cool Boy Steph. And I think it's just terrific, man. I think what we getting in boxing is terrific. I think this has probably been one of the greatest times in boxing, man. And I honestly got to say, it's just exciting, man. Nothing about the next few months is going to be boring. I guarantee we're going to look back at 2023 and say, yo, this was the best year I've ever seen in boxing. We supposed to be getting Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua. It's signed, sealed, ready to get it. We know that Anthony Joshua's getting ready to fight Dillian, the body snatcher White. We know my man Deontay, the Bronze Bomber from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, man, to this day is getting ready to try to get in the ring with Andy Ruiz. It's just so much going on in boxing, man. It's just exciting. I love it. I don't think I've been this excited about boxing in a very, very long time. I really don't. It's just, like I said, the sport itself, I want to send a big shout out to my man, Steven Espinoza, Al Heyman, for getting these big fights done, man. And, of course, let's not forget about CBS Sports for doing what they got to do. But we're going to get out of here. It's your boy, BVO Boxing. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace, and we go.